In this week's Torah portion, Joseph finally breaks. He breaks after the powerful words of Yehuda, and he finally says, "I am Joseph, is my father still alive?" Now Rabbi Raphael Birdugo brings the midrash that tells us that these words of Joseph's, "I'm Joseph, is my father alive?" are actually Joseph's rebuking his brothers, right? He's telling them off. And Rabbi Raphael says, this is a bit odd, because where is the rebuke? It's a simple, naive question, right? He's saying, "I'm Joseph, is my father still alive?" But he says when we dig deeper into how he said this, or what he said, we understand it is a very harsh rebuke, and he's harshly telling off his brothers. How do we know this? What's the point of saying, "Is my father still alive," if in the same meeting, the same audience with the brothers, he already asked them if they have a father, if he's alive, and what's going on? We already know the father's alive. So why say again, "Is my father alive?" Rather, there are three ways of understanding this as a rebuke. The first one is to say, what did you think? What did you think when I disappeared and you weren't going to find me? What, you were hoping that I wouldn't be discovered until after father died? That's one way. Another way of understanding this is, what kind of a life did you want my father to live? This life of worry, of hardship over what happened to his son for your lies, right? What kind of a life is this for my father? And the third way of understanding this, "Is my father alive?" is to say, I know he's alive. What stopped me from writing Daddy a letter and saying, "Look at what your other sons, your other boys did"? I didn't do it because I didn't behave like you. So for Rabbi Raphael Birdugo, this is a huge rebuke of Joseph, which the Bible puts in a very subtle way, but it is a rebuke. And Rabbi Raphael Birdugo concludes by saying, if this is the rebuke of Yosef to the brothers, imagine how much more so is the rebuke of God to each and every one of us for our day-to-day actions. Right? Musar, what can we think about this? And then he says something beautiful. He says, another way of looking at this episode, and he quotes the Zohar here, which he doesn't do often, right? He's not considered Rabbi Raphael a Kabbalist, or at least bringing Kabbalah in his work, but he says, we can understand this whole episode, as he mentioned previously, as the relationship between the soul and the neshama in our body. Yosef is the soul. The soul is being sold, right? Our body sells our souls for material goods and for whatnot. And Yosef now is rebuking the neshama, rebuking the body, saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, we're here for a reason. We need to come together. Think about what you're doing. Thoughts on the Torah portion of Vayigash. By the way, my Bami Parsha, from Rabbi Raphael Birdugo. Shabbat Shalom.